This is Luke Paulson, the Catholic Conservative, and welcome to the news of the week for December 21st, 2024. And if you enjoy these videos, do not forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more. And happy winter solstice! It was the FBI all along. The FBI, better known as Forever Bothering Innocents, has not been interested in stopping crime for a long time now. It has been working at the behest of the deep state.
So how do you define it?
Well, the way I would define the deep state is an increased willingness by more and more government civil servants to pursue political objectives rather than stand up for the values of the institution they're a part of. They are not neutral. They're not politically neutral.
Not only did the FBI target traditional Catholics and conservatives at school boards, they were at the Capitol during the mostly peaceful protest of January 6th. Okay, that is not much of a revelation, at least for those who have been paying attention. We knew that the FBI was behind this from the very beginning. However, now we have official confirmation that at least 26 FBI informants were on the ground, and 13 of those entered the restricted area. Want to bet these were the people that were violent? We know that the Capitol Police let the people in and gave at least one person a tour. Then, the same officers lied under oath and said that it was an attack, even though they knew better. The fact remains that the real criminals are the ones arresting innocent people. It is no coincidence that Ray resigned right after this revelation. America has a lot of enemies in the government, but there are also a lot of enemies abroad that need to be kept out. Buying the border wall. The Democrats have done everything in their power to stop the border wall, just so that they can ensure their new voter bloc. Although Texas and the rest of the states that deal with this have been fighting hard, it is still an uphill battle. Now Brandon is auctioning off portions previously designated for the border wall. Because of Bidenflation, the price for these parts is much higher. Now Texas will actually be purchasing the pieces that can be salvaged. This will allow them to build the wall on private property. If someone agrees for something to be built on their own land, what business is that of the government? Granted, liberals will try to stop the wall from being built on private land again, but this time it may be harder since the parts are under the jurisdiction of Texas. However, the wall only keeps people from coming in on foot. If our enemies are sending in drones, the wall cannot stop them. Iran's Mothership. Remember the Chinese spy balloon from a little while back?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Now we have drones that are flying over sensitive military airspace. Places that are supposed to be as secure as can be. Officially, these are privately owned or manned craft. The official story is inconsistent. If they are privately owned drones, they need to be shot down. However, just like the Chinese spy balloon that Brandon just let fly where it willed, these are not being shot down. According to Representative Jeff Van Drew, who has sources within the intelligence community, these drones are being launched by Iran from a mothership off the East Coast. The Biden administration weakened the military. They brought in people that were more concerned with inclusivity than merit. They are also celebrating men in dresses. Since the military is having such low recruitment numbers, armies are crossing at the southern border, and there was at least one military base in California. This is all a part of the plan, something that the deep state can let happen in Brandon's final weeks. But President Trump is coming in.
We will not go quietly into the night. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
I suspect weakening the United States military was all a part of the plan, but this senseless death may also have been planned. Was this planned? We know that the coward who killed Brian Thompson left behind notes saying exactly what he was going to do. We also know that Brian Thompson was accused of insider trading, and now can conveniently no longer testify.
There's something awfully screwy going on around here.
However, I need to dispel a rumor. This has nothing to do with Pelosi's insider trading. So is it possible that this murder was planned to ensure that nothing would be exposed? It is something that we cannot rule out. They had better not just leave this killer unwatched in his cell. I am sure Clinton needs him offed as well. The best Democrats did on this was blame ghost guns despite their cheering. Then another tragedy occurred, and they did not cheer for this killer. Another senseless tragedy. I have a playlist on my channel called The Second Amendment Saves Lives. The point of it is to collect stories about how someone saved a life by using their Second Amendment right to bear arms. Most of these stories do not even make it to print because they do not elicit an emotional response. However, when there is a school shooting, the reaction is emotions first, and the Bill of Rights second. Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin was the setting of another school shooting. And before the sheriff could even make a statement, liberals have decided to politicize the event. Liberals just want to use these children as pawns and would not care about them if they could not be used for this. I know nothing about this school, but I'm going to guess that it was gun-free. We know that school shooters avoid schools with armed guards and teachers. The only way to stop these school shootings is for the shooter to be dead before they can blink. I have no transition for this. Let us just go on to the next story. The final experiment. Believe it or not, despite observable evidence, there are still people who believe that the Earth is flat. So Will Duffy decided to take flat earthers and round earthers to Antarctica. According to the former, Antarctica is a wall of mountains and ice that surrounds the planet. Their model says that the Earth should have equal day and night cycles all over the planet. However, the globe model is very different. Because of the shape and tilt of the Earth during our winter, the southern hemisphere is in summer and Antarctica will have a midnight sun. The experiment, as of the recording of this video, is already complete, and all parties have seen the midnight sun. Now, I very much doubt that this will be the end of it. Those who hold to the delusion of the flat Earth will still try to justify it in their minds. However, they have seen the evidence with their own eyes. One flat earther, Austin Wistit, said that this was not conclusive, even though it was exactly the opposite of what he expected to see. Sean Griffin seems to have deleted his Twitter account as the link from his YouTube channel does not work. He also does not seem to have made an official comment. And Jaron Campanella likewise does not seem to have made an official comment. The idea of a flat Earth is nothing short of fake news, and the fake news needs to be mocked. ABC pays Trump. Zuckerberg paid a huge sum to President Trump to get on his good side. But that is not the most interesting thing that has happened to the media industrial complex. After defaming President Trump for no legitimate reason, ABC and its anchor George Stephanopoulos reached a $16 million settlement with him. This will be used to build his future presidential library. The fake news network made a false accusation against him, saying that he was liable for the of E. Jean Carroll. This is one of many cases where he has had to just sue the fake news to get them to admit their lies. Lawsuits are the only thing that these people understand, just like Nick Sandman, Kyle Rittenhouse, and countless others who have been defamed, most of whom never got an apology. This has not solved a problem, but it has made a dent. A big dent. You might even say that it is quite huge. While President Trump did absolutely nothing wrong with foreign governments, Resident Brandon certainly did. Stopping shell corporations. Recently, Congress passed the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, or BOIR. Most of you listening to this will be unaffected directly by this. Essentially, this is paperwork to ensure that the person who owns the company is the only person operating said company. That might seem trivial, but it is a huge step to stopping shell corporations. Recall how shell corporations were the main way that the Biden crime family was able to operate. The ultra-rich will still find a way to launder their money, but this will make it harder. Now the crony cannot just do business through a pawn without the crony being connected to it. This is not a recent problem, but I suspect that it was Hunter Biden and his 10% to the big guy that catalyzed this. There are a lot of high-stakes issues to deal with, but we cannot forget the culture war. Refusal to pay the fine. Many Canadians are so open-minded that they let it fall right out. The small town of Emo was asked to host a Pride Month for some reason. They were also asked to hoist the rainbow flag, which has nothing to do with God's promise to never again flood the earth, on a flagpole that the town does not have. The town of 2,000 people refused to comply. The mayor and 2 councillors violated the Ontario Human Rights Code. A combined fine was levied of $15,000 for the mayor and township. Mayor Harold McQuaker was also asked to attend a sensitivity class, or as normal people call it, re-education. He has refused to take the class or pay the fine because normal people can see that it is extortion. This mayor deserves a standing ovation. I'm not sure why we need to celebrate sin. I prefer to celebrate merits and achievements. another woke athlete. When Colin Kaepernick decided to take a knee in solidarity against imaginary racism, the entire media industrial complex stood by him. Meanwhile, over in the WNBA, a network that virtually no one watches, even the sports fanatics, a star emerged. Caitlin Clark revived the industry and got people to start tuning in. So naturally, she was attacked by players with higher melanin. According to some sources, she got fouled more times than would normally be expected. Now she has caved to the pressure and apologized for her whiteness. Normal people look at a player's skill and not their looks. But what do I know? This Time Athlete of the Year is just as bad as the rest of them. Apologizing gets you more street credit than actually doing something. During the 2020 election, the rest of the Democrats could have stepped down and let cackling Kamala run, but privilege does not apply to white Democrats. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion. And do not forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more. But before you go, on the left I have last week's video, but you may also enjoy the video on the right.